This month, the March Against Drugs is here on ABC-7.
This is the tri-state area's news leader, Channel 7 Eyewitness News, with Robb Hanrahan, Nancy Loo, Bill Evans with the exclusive AccuWeather forecast, and the Eyewitness News team. Now, Eyewitness News.
Smoke and fire fill the air over the Bronx. Newscopter 7 is over the scene at dawn as a shopping center goes up in flames. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Nancy Loo.
I'm Robb Hanrahan. Thanks for joining us. The fire broke out just before dawn and went to 5 alarms in almost no time. Rush hour traffic was slowed, buses were diverted, and service on the number 6 line was temporarily disrupted. Hundreds of firefighters responded to the alarms on Westchester Avenue in the Soundview section, and that's where Joe Torres joins us live with the very latest. Joe?
Good afternoon to you, Rob. Firefighters just wrapping up what has been a very, very long day for them here in the Soundview section in the Bronx. We are on Westchester Avenue, specifically between Boynton and Ward Avenues. The fire was declared under control shortly after 8 o'clock this morning. However, it was a very stubborn blaze that did not want to cooperate with firefighters. The blaze broke out just before 4 o'clock this morning. 2.5 hours later, it still raged out of control as officials sounded a 5th alarm. More than 200 firefighters responded to the scene. Clouds of smoke soared hundreds of feet into the air. We saw the smoke pillar from this camera all the way in New Jersey. Back on the ground, the heat was so intense, firefighters could not attack the blaze from the inside.
There was an explosion that drove back one of the units, blew all kinds of debris from the store, so they had to back out. Now to get back in and try to pull the ceilings, to open it up between the ceiling and the roof, that's where the difficulty was.
All told, 10 stores went up in flames. This vision center survived, but just barely. Firefighters stopped the blaze only 2 doors away.
I tell you, this is one of my only sources of income, and had tragedy struck me, I would have been out.
You're lucky.
I am absolutely lucky.
The thick smoke made breathing difficult for many of the onlookers who watched helplessly as the fire devastated businesses along Westchester Avenue.
This is a big loss, you know, for us who have children. We live here in the community. I mean, right now I was going to buy me a pair of sneakers, and the sneaker store is burned down.
It's very convenient for us, okay? Now we need that. Put us on the way. It's very reasonable for us, okay? It's very reasonable for us. We're going to miss that.
Now, where and how the fire started, that remains under investigation. We can tell you, though, however, at this point, there is no reason to believe that it was suspicious. In terms of injury, there was no one inside the stores when the flames broke out. However, 7 firefighters suffered minor injuries ranging from smoke inhalation to a broken finger. And lastly, we should point out, Soundview, this section of the Bronx, has been in the news recently. Just around the corner from the fire scene, a new mural of Notorious B.I.G., the slain rapper that was shot to death just a few days ago on the West Coast. We're live in the Bronx. I'm Joe Torres, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Joe, it was a busy night for firefighters. Dozens of tenants were forced from their homes by fire in a Greenpoint apartment building shortly after midnight. The 3rd and 4th floors of the 4-story building were totally engulfed when the fire department arrived. Investigators are trying to find out now how the fire started. They are checking reports that asbestos might have been in the structure. The NYPD is investigating a bizarre carjacking and shooting that left a Brooklyn college student in critical condition. Police say the student was found with 7 bullet wounds in the garage of his apartment building. David Ushery picks up the story. He's live in Brooklyn. David?
Nancy, Pierre Nobrun is described as a very hardworking and very religious young man, and it's perhaps his faith and the faith of his family that is helping him to hold on. He is still in very critical condition, but it seems miraculous that he survived it all, after being shot several times and left on a cold concrete floor with no one to hear his cries for help.
The guy was standing here or standing over there. Then they'll run in, my guy going down, they'll run in.
The building superintendent, who goes by the name of Dancer, explained how a carjacker might lurk outside and sneak in when the door is opened by remote control. Police believe that is indeed what may have happened late Monday night. 24-year-old Pierre Nobrun, apparently heading to his overnight job, approached his assigned parking spot when an attacker or attackers jumped him, shot him 7 times, and stole his car, leaving him bleeding on the ground. The garage is dimly lit and virtually desolate overnight. Nobrun lied on the ground for several hours until a neighbor who was coming to pick up his car to go to work discovered him. He rushed upstairs to tell Nobrun's mother, Marie.
Nice boy, you know.
always busy, go to school, go to work, you know.
Right. Despite the fact that a lot of his blood spilled onto the garage floor, Nobrun survived and was rushed to Kings County Hospital. The police recovered the car a few hours later after a brief car chase, but the suspects bailed out and got away. But as Nobrun's mother says,
I know God know him, you know.
Indeed, God knows the suspect, but police definitely want to know him. It's still an active investigation. No suspects in custody as of yet. Later on Eyewitness News, we'll hear from some neighbors here in the building who say, yes, it is a tragedy, but they say it's one that was waiting to happen. They've complained about safety at this building before. Reporting live in the Kensington section of Brooklyn, I'm David Ushery, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
All right, David, thanks. A manhunt is underway for the former boyfriend of a woman who was found in the trunk of her burning car yesterday. The body of 24-year-old Shanika Price was discovered by firefighters on Amsterdam Avenue near the Cross Bronx Expressway. Police say she'd been kidnapped from Stamford, where she worked for an insurance company. Price had several restraining orders against her former boyfriend. Police in Suffolk County could be a step closer to solving a murder mystery. Investigators say a 37-year-old barmaid may have been sexually assaulted before she was stabbed to death. Detectives say the naked body of Cynthia White was found in a closet of her Copiague apartment Monday evening. Police say she was stabbed repeatedly in the chest and back. White's car is missing and may have been stolen by the killer. Police are hoping a witness will soon come forward.
A Delaware judge denies a request for leniency from two New Jersey teenagers charged with murder. Amy Grossberg and Brian Peterson are accused of killing their newborn son. While Grossberg and Peterson are out on bail, their movements are being electronically monitored. Both were in court yesterday when their motion for more lenient curfew hours was denied. They're restricted to their homes unless they're leaving to see a doctor or lawyer or to do charity work.
This noon, the Federal Aviation Administration is investigating the possibility of a near collision over LaGuardia Airport. The incident reportedly involves two loaded jetliners and the possibility the planes came within 50 feet of each other as they tried to land in the dark. Tim Minton is following this story for us. He joins us from the Eyewitness Newsroom with the latest. Tim?
Rob, the Federal Aviation Administration is investigating what happened late last month when two jets got perhaps too close to each other as they were on approach. Nobody got hurt, but the question now is whether that's because of good flying or good luck.
The planes were 1,700 feet over Queens and Flushing Bay when it happened, in clear weather, at 11 o'clock one of the last nights in February. A United flight from Denver and an American flight from Dallas were both minutes away from landing. An FAA investigation has determined this sequence of events. The United flight requests a go-around, a routine procedure approved that night by air traffic controllers, which amounts to circling back to approach the airport again. The American flight coming in behind United is ordered to follow United with a go-round of its own. Both planes, a 737 and MD-88, land safely. The FAA says neither pilot reports a near collision. But in what it's calling a routine review, the FAA subsequently decided to look at radar tapes of what happened to find out just how close the jets came to each other. The review follows a pair of other February air traffic incidents in which passenger jets did come close to other planes. In those cases, a nation's air jet and days later an American plane were both buzzed by military fighters on training flights. No one was injured in those cases either.
The FAA says its review of the latest incident, the one approaching LaGuardia, could be over and facts could be revealed as soon as later today. In any event, if those facts do reveal that the planes got dangerously close, then the FAA could begin to probe why the pilots failed to report it. And that's the latest from the newsroom. Rob, Nancy, back to you.
All right, Tim, thanks. A federal grand jury in Brooklyn investigating the tragedy of TWA Flight 800 reportedly will have a look at radar videotape today. A retired pilot who owns the tape insists it shows a missile in the sky at the time the plane exploded. The federal government categorically denies that. Well, while the aircraft is being reassembled on Long Island, the FBI seized the videotape from the home of that retired pilot. He says the tape is a copy of FAA radar showing an object heading toward the jet. FBI Director James Kallstrom does not discount the missile theory.
We talked about in the first press conference, missile, bomb, or mechanical theory. And really that's still what's in play. Of course, we had eyewitnesses that saw things in the sky. And there's been numerous commercial jets in the world, fortunately not in the United States, that were shot down with missiles. So it's still there.
Kallstrom says search crews are still finding pieces of the plane on the ocean floor.
Reports of a confession from an Oklahoma City bombing suspect are swirling around the internet. The reports come from Playboy magazine. It says that accused Oklahoma City bomber Tim McVeigh gave his defense team details of his alleged role in the attack. The article tells how McVeigh allegedly delivered the bomb and describes his actions before and after the blast. Author Ben Fenwick says his story is based on legally obtained documents. Police in Detroit are still piecing together yesterday's bloody rampage that left 4 people dead and 2 wounded in a matter of minutes. Police say it began when a distraught man in camouflage clothing announced a holdup at the Comerica Bank. After opening fire, he ordered everyone else to sing the Lord's Prayer as he yelled obscenities. Police shot and killed the gunman as he was trying to leave the scene.
The sex scandal that has rocked the Army might now center on an investigation of the investigators. That comes on the heels of yesterday's stunning disclosure by 5 female recruits who recanted their stories of alleged rape. The women all say Army investigators coerced them into saying they either had sex with or were raped by drill sergeants.
I never claimed I was raped. They told me that by the Uniform Code of Military Justice that yes, it was considered rape, but I never said that I was raped because that was not the truth.
The women refused to say whether they had consensual sex, which is a violation of military law.
And don't go away, there is a big warning for parents this noon, a government recall of some popular baby clothing. Details coming up.
Also ahead, President Clinton takes to the airwaves for some straight talk with America's next generation.
And if the flu has you down, have we got something to cheer you up? Could it be a cure? The healthy headlines are ahead on Eyewitness News. 9 suspected members of the Genovese crime family are under arrest this noon. New Jersey State Police say the 9 are charged with attempting to infiltrate the garbage carting industry and with running an illegal gambling operation. The arrests are part of a 3-year investigation into organized crime in northern New Jersey.
At the White House this morning, President Clinton held a straight talk on drugs with children from around the nation. The president was joined by ABC's Peter Jennings for the live radio town hall meeting aimed at educating young people about the dangers of abusing drugs.
More kids.
I think it's important because we know that while overall drug use in America is still going down, drug use among people under 18 is in fact going up. And that's a very troubling thing.
Well, the White House says nearly 2.5 million kids have tried drugs in this year alone.
Doctors upstate are concerned about a recent outbreak of strep in the Rochester area that's claimed 5 lives. 39-year-old Susan Doherty is the latest victim and the only one to contract a rare flesh-eating strain. She died Friday, just 2 weeks after delivering her 3rd child by cesarean section. It's not known if Doherty was infected before or after entering the hospital to give birth. Well, there's one excuse for a sick day that could be history soon. Researchers are looking at a new drug that might be able to cure the flu. Human testing is underway in England with an experimental anti-flu pill. Researchers say the pill prevented the flu in tests on animals, and in animals already infected, the pill sharply reduced how long the symptoms lasted and how bad they were.
We have a recall warning for thousands of parents this afternoon. This one involves thousands of children's rompers made in New York and sold across the country by Kmart stores. The Consumer Product Safety Commission says the paint on the snaps of these rompers could contain lead. The recall includes nearly 30,000 Little Miracles rompers for infant boys. They have red and orange snaps, and they're made by the Wear Me Apparel Corporation. They have the style number 9448 or 9449 imprinted on the reverse side of the care label. The rompers can be returned to any Kmart for a refund. Well, some old jeans could be worth a pretty penny. Levi Strauss is paying a premium price to revive a bit of blue jean history. The company, get this, paid about $25,000 for a pair of 100-year-old pants found in a vintage clothing store in Soho. The jeans have a single back pocket, a leather patch on the waistband, and they were found in good condition in an old mine. The pair cost about $1.25 when they were new. Levi says the jeans are one of the 2 oldest pairs in existence.
Interesting.
$25,000 for those.
Wow, we should go home and dig in our drawers.
I don't think I'll find any 100-year-old pants, though.
Never know. We got off to a cold start this morning, didn't we? Any chance it'll warm up soon?
Lee Goldberg will be along. He has the answer in his exclusive AccuWeather forecast as Eyewitness News at noon continues.
Tonight at 5 on Eyewitness News. If you travel this route, you may be seeing double. We'll tell you how one local area is experiencing retail overdose. Also at 5.
7's on call with a new weapon to fight a disease that steals vision. Important information you need to know.
And remember when blondes were supposed to have more fun? Not anymore. Guess who's having the fun now? Plus, breaking stories. Tonight at 5 on Eyewitness News, where the news comes first. Right here on Channel 7.
Well, you might think it's a little chilly out today, but try racing in the Iditarod dog sled race in Alaska. Martin Boozer crossed the finish line in Nome, Alaska yesterday after covering 1,100 miles in 9 days, 8 hours, and 31 minutes. Boozer gets $50,000 and a new truck. This is the third time Boozer has won the Iditarod. As for the dogs, they finally get some rest.
Oh, there's no better way to travel than by sled dog, huh?
A new truck.
Yeah.
Have you done game shows here, Nancy? You said that great.
A brand new truck.
We're looking for a little spring in our forecast, and we're not talking about the spring you're going to show us.
Yeah, right. And meanwhile, we may have to mush to work on Friday. We'll have to tell you about that as well. But yes, the circus is in town. Yes, it's at the Nassau Coliseum, and it goes till March 17th. And I was lucky enough to be launched this morning into the air by these lovely clowns. The bungee jump, which you can actually do if you go an hour before the actual circus. They let you in and you can do trapeze, you can play around with the cyclists, and you can also hang around with the clouds there. One of those moments we're going to be launched right into the air, but again, you can bungee jump there, and it goes till the...
taller now.
Yeah, believe me, the reason they're showing this so long is because it took me a while to walk over to the weather map. No question about it. A lot of fun, and you can get there as well. And it also comes to Madison Square Garden a little bit later into early April. It is 40 degrees at lunchtime. It was nice to be inside this morning. The sun feels nice this afternoon. It's the wind that's the problem. Very dry air right now, and that's why you see the deep blue sky. There's only a few fair weather clouds, for the most part over Long Island this afternoon, and the pressure is now on the fall. A westerly wind at about 10 to 18, so you got a wind chill that's in the 20s right now. It'll feel that way through the afternoon despite a high temperature in the mid-40s. Now, no real extremes in warm or cold, although we're below normal. And you may think this March has been angry, but how about the March of 1888? A big storm between March 11th and March 14th, nearly 2 feet of snow from central New Jersey into New York City, nearly 3 feet in White Plains, and 45 inches in New Haven. That was a ferocious winter. Thankfully, we got some sunshine, although it's a little bit chilly out this afternoon. A pair of 36s from Carmel down to Tuckahoe, and right now it's 40 across the 5 boroughs, 39 in Montclair, and 39 in Brookside. We're all headed from the mid-30s to the mid-40s this afternoon. A few clouds trying to maintain their structure early this morning, but for the most part, they dry out when they go over the Catskills. But now a little reinforcing cold fronts giving some snow showers over to central the short-term for us, but it will cause problems in the long term. Right now, we're in the 30s, and although some of the mild air is going to try to shoot up tomorrow, it's going to be swept out and deflected by this cold front. So the cold air is going to be in place. Tomorrow's a quiet day, but because the cold air is in place, and we got a juicy system down here in the nation's heartland headed our way, we're going to be in the battle zone between air masses, and that's going to pose a problem Friday morning for the commute. Right now, just a thin ribbon of snow showers getting into the lakes, but look, here's the Gulf moisture. This looks a lot like Sunday night into Monday's storm, but this time we're going to be right on that border where we could have a sleet experience. That could be like prolonged through the morning hours on Friday, meaning a very slick morning commute. In the meantime, things are quiet now, 45 and a chilly wind. A new moon tonight, and again, things are just very chilly. Teens in the suburbs, 20s across the 5 boroughs, and again, another chilly start tomorrow. The good news during the day on Thursday is there won't be as much wind, so the sun just fades away. Look for 42 degrees, and here's that storm now knocking on the door. Should be here late Thursday night, and just leave plans now to make plenty of extra time on the Friday morning commute. We'll have to watch this storm track very closely. Looks like sleet and snow going to rain. Tonight, 28 degrees, clear, brisk, and cold. Then for tomorrow, sunshine and clouds, but less wind, so a little bit better than today. And your 5-day shows that mess on Friday. It will clear out to rain by Saturday morning, and then nice and brisk on Sunday. But again, at Friday morning commute, we could have another replay of what we had Monday morning.
All right, well, we'll be here to track it.
You bet.
All right, thanks, Lee.
Well, if you're a chocoholic, and I know you are, Rob,
love it.
Mr. Food has a recipe for you.
And it probably doesn't get any chocolatier than this. Brownies and then some for your own taste of success. It's ahead with Mr. Food on Eyewitness News.
It's a great lineup today on ABC-7, starting with the city. Then All My Children, One Life to Live, General Hospital. At 4, it's Oprah, and Eyewitness News at 5. All right here on ABC-7.
If you're a chocolate lover and you want that restaurant taste of a hot fudge dessert, Mr. Food has the plan. This is a recipe that won't keep you bogged down in the kitchen to produce fabulous results.
Nothing at all satisfies that craving for chocolate more than a scoop of ice cream topped with the smoothing warmth of rich hot fudge. I mean, our taste buds just start watering just thinking about it. But there's another way to enjoy our favorite hot fudge sundaes. Wait till you show them this one. In a large bowl, we combine a cup of flour, 3/4 of a cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of unsweetened cocoa, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Now, to that mixture, we add a 1/2 cup of milk, 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract. We mix it till it's smooth and stir in a cup of chopped walnuts. Now we pour that batter into a sprayed 8-inch square baking pan, and we top it with a combination of 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar and 1/4 cup of unsweetened cocoa. Now, here's the trick. We pour 1 3/4 cups of hot water over that, and we pop it into a preheated 350 oven for 35-40 minutes, or until the top is cracked and the brownies are firm to the touch. Now for the big finish. We slice them when they're slightly warm. We put on a scoop of ice cream, or maybe some fresh fruit too, and top it with the hot fudge topping, which is ready-made from the bottom of the pan. Oh, every heavenly bite is a chocoholic's dream. And if you'd like the recipe, you just send the self-addressed stamped envelope marked Hot Fudge Brownie to me, Mr. Food, right here at the station. And we'll get it back to you for shocking them when you tell them how you did it. And they will ask, believe me. I mean, some like it hot, some like it cold. Please them all, and it's everybody's favorite. Ooh, it's so good.
And here's a look at some of the stories we're working on for Eyewitness News at 5. A horrifying accident involving a nail gun at a house where renovations were being performed. Also, we'll be on call with Dr. Jay Adlersberg, a new way to fight a disease that steals vision. Some high-tech help for macular degeneration. All that and much more at 5 on Eyewitness News.
But that is the news for now. I'm Nancy Loo.
And I'm Robb Hanrahan. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you again tomorrow at noon.